stop them.
Let's help each
The
other
raids
here.
escalated through
And
December and January.
yes, let's help each other to my life, guys.
Tried different
You're
altitudes,
welcome
tested
here.
Japan's defenses.
And just leave your comment.
Japanese fighters continued to intercept, continued to score occasional victories, continued to lose pilots and aircraft at an unsustainable rate. In January 1945, Major General Curtis LeMay took command of the 21st Bomber Command in the Marianas. He studied the raid results with dissatisfaction. High-altitude precision bombing was producing disappointing results. Clouds obscured targets. Jet stream winds at altitude threw off bombing accuracy. The vaunted Norden bomb sight, so effective in Europe, struggled with the weather conditions over Japan. LeMay began considering alternatives. On February 25, he ordered built largely of wood and paper, burned readily. The incendiaries started fires that spread rapidly through densely packed neighborhoods. At night, from low altitude, carrying maximum loads of incendiaries, they would burn Japan's cities to ash. Carried 7 tons of incendiary bombs. They flew low, between 5,000 and 7,000 feet, below the altitude where Japanese flight was a calculated risk. Lower altitude meant Japanese flight would be more effective. Fighters would have easier attacks, but it also meant the bombers could carry more ordnance.
Welcome to my live, guys. Thank you so much for likes. Hello to Listenson again. Thank you so much for coming to my live tonight. Thank you.
The sound of aircraft engines. He stepped outside and looked up. The sky was full of them, dozens of bombers. Their engines a continuous rumble.
Thank you so much, Listenson.
Much lower. He could see their silhouettes against the clouds. Then the bombs began falling. The first incendiaries landed like rain, thousands of small cylinders tumbling from bomb bays, spreading across a wide area. They hit roofs, streets, gardens. Each one burst on impact, spraying burning napalm, 40-foot radius. Within minutes, hundreds of fires burned across Shitamachi. Within an hour, those fires had merged into a conflagration that generated its own weather system. Kashain tried to fight the fire that started on his neighbor's roof. He gave up when 3 more incendiaries smoke so thick it was impossible.
I cannot go with your link because I'm using tablet, so I cannot click with them. So I'll go to your sandwich.
Jumped in, joining hundreds of others who had sought refuge in the water. The fire raged around them, sucking oxygen from the air, creating winds that howled like a typhoon. People who stayed on the streets were caught by the winds and thrown into the flames.
Thank you.
Others suffocated where they stood, the fire consuming all available oxygen. Kashain held his daughter's head above water and watched his neighborhood burn. The wooden houses went up like kindling. The fire spread from building to building, block to block, faster than anyone could run. The B-29s kept coming, wave after wave, dropping their loads and turning for home.
Hello, 5 viewers. Just leave your comment, guys.
When dawn came, 16 square
so that we
miles
can
of
visit
Tokyo had been destroyed.
our channel.
Approximately 100,000 people were dead. 1 million were homeless. The Sumida River was full of corpses, people who had jumped in to escape the flames had drowned or died from the heat. The canals were clogged with bodies. Entire neighborhoods had ceased to exist, reduced to ash and twisted metal. It was the single deadliest air raid in human history, more destructive than either.
Welcome.
And it was only the
Just leave your comment, guys.
Japanese military leadership met in emergency session. The reports from Tokyo were catastrophic. The city's fire department had been overwhelmed within the first hour. Hospitals were destroyed or overcrowded. Transportation networks were disrupted. Industrial capacity in the affected areas was gone. We must disperse our industries, someone suggested. Move production to rural areas, underground facilities. With what labor force? Another replied. With what materials? With what transportation network?
Let's leave your comment, guys.
Admiral Suemu Toyoda, Chief of the Navy General Staff, raised a different concern. The Americans have found a tactic we cannot effectively counter, he said. Our fighters are designed for high altitude interception.
Playing your video here, listen son. Hello, 16 visitors. Thank you so much for coming to my live, guys. And just leave your comment here so that we can visit your channel. And let's support each other here to my live, guys.
With what? Toyota asked. We have already committed our best fighters, our best pilots. We shoot down a few bombers.
Found the water magpie while walking. Ayan, Lisong Son. Still playing your video for your third video.
The silence that followed was the sound of men confronting.
Because we didn't have other visitors yet, so I will play your video.
Nagoya, Osaka.
Thank you so much, guys. Please leave your comments.
Treatment. The B-29s came at night, flew low, dropped incendiaries, and left behind ruins. Japanese fighters scrambled to intercept, sometimes successfully. On the night of burning 8 square miles of the city, Japanese fighter pilots developed new tactics. Some attempted ramming attacks, deliberately crashing their aircraft into B-29s. Lieutenant Ryoji Ohara succeeded in destroying a bomber over Nagoya by ramming it with his Ki-84, then bailing out and surviving. He was celebrated as a hero, an example of the warrior spirit that would save Japan. But one bomber destroyed by ramming at the cost of one fighter and nearly the life of one pilot was not a sustainable exchange rate. The Americans could replace bombers faster than Japan could replace fighters. They could train crews faster than Japan could train pilots. They had fuel, materials, industrial capacity. Japan had courage, determination.
Hello everyone, welcome to my live. Just leave your comment, guys, and so that we can visit your channel. Thank you so much for the support.
They began hitting smaller cities, industrial towns, anywhere with strategic value. The B-29s flew in daylight now, confident that Japanese defenses were too depleted to pose serious threats. Colonel Takeshi Ito, commanding a fighter group at Atsuki Airfield, held a briefing with his remaining pilots. He had started with 48 aircraft and 63 pilots. He now had 12 aircraft.
Start playing here, your video, listen son.
Ammunition was scarce, spare parts were non-existent. The Americans will come again today, he told them. Intelligence reports a formation approaching from the south. We will scramble what aircraft we can. You know the tactics. Diving attacks from above if possible. Frontal attacks if you can reach them. Ramming if all else fails. The pilots nodded. They were young, most of them. Teenagers rushed through abbreviated training programs to replace the veterans who had died over Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya. They knew the odds. They scrambled anyway. The raid came at noon. 70 B-29s.
Hello to Bungot Vlogs. Thank you so much.
The same target that had been hit.
I will visit your channel.
The plant had been rebuilt, was producing engines again, was therefore a target again. Ito led 6 fighters into the air. They climbed hard, racing to reach altitude before the bombers arrived.
Bungot Vlogs, you have 7.23 subscribers. I already subscribed.
Spotted them. A neat formation of silver aircraft, sunlight gleaming off their wings.
I'll give you a
He checked his fuel.
chat.
Enough for one attack, maybe 2 if he was lucky.
Okay, Bungot Vlogs, please connect to Listen Son.
His wingman followed.
Yeah.
The others spread out, each selecting a target. Ito's gun sight settled on a bomber in the lead element. He waited until 800 meters, then opened fire. His cannons hammered. He saw strikes, saw pieces fly off the bomber's wing. He kept firing, kept diving, the range closing. The return fire was immediate.
Thank you so much, Bungot Vlogs.
He felt impacts, heard metal tearing. His left wing shuddered. He pulled up, breaking off, his aircraft vibrating badly. He looked back. The bomber he had hit was trailing smoke.
Bungot Vlogs, playing your video here. Ginisang sari-saring gulay. Nakikita sa bakuran. Ayan, play natin.
Watched the young pilot's fighter trail smoke and flame.
Okay.
Bail out.
Let's connect to Listen Son, Bungot Vlogs.
Anyway, the pilot replied. His voice was calm. I'm going in. Ito watched as the burning fighter rolled inverted and dove at the formation.
Number
struck at
33
B-29
guys.
amidships,
Okay.
both aircraft exploding in a ball of flame. Debris tumbled through the sky. The formation kept flying. Ito turned for base. His fuel was nearly gone. His aircraft was damaged. He had lost a pilot and destroyed one bomber. The other 69
Welcome guys sa aking live. Please leave your comment. Everyone are welcome to my live.
Gauge reading empty. His left wing riddled with holes.
Everyone is welcome to my live.
In the debriefing room,
Hayaan
he
nyo
learned that of
yung
the 6 fighters that had scrapped, 3 had been lost. They had destroyed 2 bombers.
Playing your video here, Bongot Vlogs.
Interception.
Yan.
The war
Naka-ads pa
4
siya.
months later. By
Play lang
then,
natin.
66 Japanese cities had been burned. The B-29s had flown more than 33,000 sorties against Japan. They had dropped 160,000 tons of bombs. They had killed hundreds of thousands of civilians, destroyed millions of homes, shattered Japan's industrial capacity. Japanese fighters had shot down 414 B-29s in combat. It was an impressive number, a testament to the courage and skill of Japanese pilots. It was also utterly insufficient. For every bomber shot down, 10
Gabby, I have a rose for you. You look good and God bless you. Thank you so much at Gabby.
What Japan said
Do you have a channel?
The B-29 was less important than what Japan could do about it. And the answer to that question, despite courage, despite determination, despite sacrifice, was not enough. The intelligence analysts had been right. The specifications had seemed impossible, but they were accurate. The bomber could fly higher, faster, and farther than Japan could effectively counter.
Gabby, so you have 29 subscribers and 16
It could operate
videos.
from bases beyond Japan's reach.
Okay.
Most critically, America could build them faster than Japan could destroy them.
I'll give you a jacket.
Major Tanamizu.
We have jackets now at Gabby. Please connect to Bongot Vlogs and so now. You can connect now to them.
He was interviewed by American intelligence officers compiling reports on Japanese wartime assessments. He said finally.
I will visit you later at
myself they were
Gabby.
impossible,
After
but I knew
Bongot
they were
Vlogs.
true, and I knew what they meant. That we had lost the war, we simply had not admitted it yet. It was an honest answer, perhaps more honest than he could have given during the war. The B-29 had not won the war by itself, but it had demonstrated a truth that Japanese leadership had struggled to accept, that American industrial capacity, American technological capability, and American strategic reach had grown beyond anything Japan could match. The bomber itself was a marvel of engineering, the most advanced aircraft of its era, the product of the largest aircraft development program in history. But it was also a symbol, a physical manifestation of the industrial and technological gap that had always existed between the two nations, a gap that widened as the war progressed until it became an unbridgeable chasm. What Japan said when America revealed the B-29 was less important than what Japan learned. That courage and determination, however genuine, could not overcome the fundamental imbalance in resources, technology, and industrial capacity that had always made the war unwinnable. The B-29 simply made that truth impossible to ignore. The message arrived at Combined Fleet Headquarters in the late afternoon of April 7,
Papaya tapos munggo.
1945.
Sarap, diba?
A radio operator's
Tapos
hand
mayroon
trembles as he transcribes the final transmission from the destroyer Fuyuzuki. Admiral Soemu Toyoda, Commander-in-Chief of the
Fresh na
Combined
fresh pala yung galing
Fleet,
sa
reads the
bakuran.
words he has been expecting but dreading. Yamato has capsized and sunk. The room falls silent. Staff officers stand frozen at their posts. Someone's pencil rolls off a desk and clatters to the floor. No one moves to pick it up. Toyota's face remains expressionless, but his jaw tightens. He has just received confirmation that the largest battleship ever built, the pride of the Imperial Japanese Navy, the vessel that was supposed to embark
Hello everyone!
Japan's supremacy,
Welcome sa aking live
has been
guys.
destroyed after
Yan,
barely
mag-iwan na
4
kayo ng
hours
inyong
of
mga comment
combat.
dyan.
With her went 2,000
Para kayo ay mabisita. Hello to Abhishek Thakur. Thank you so much for visiting into my live. Just connect to them, Abhishek Thakur.
Toyota approved anyway. He sets the message down.
I'm just playing here the Bungot Vlogs
When he
video.
speaks, his voice steady
Right now.
but hollow. Inform Imperial General Headquarters. What Japanese High Command said when the Yamato was sunk cannot be separated from what they said before sending her to die.
Ginisang sari-saring gulay. Ayan.
This one was planned, debated, agonized over.
Sarap ng gulay talaga. Pero na fresh kasi galing talaga sa bakuran.
The story begins 3 days earlier.
Parang bungot
On
vlogs.
April 4th, in the same headquarters. Vice Admiral Ryunosuke Kusaka, Toyota's
I am good.
presents the
Hello to Word Time Sleeps.
10
Good evening to you.
The army is fighting desperately, but everyone in this room knows how it will end. The Americans have
Word Time Sleeps. You have 138 subscribers and 14 videos.
and the willingness to die.
Okay.
Kusaka's voice is measured as he outlines the plan.
Thank you so much. Did you like my dress?
The force will break through to when her ammunition runs out. The crew will join the ground forces.
What is your time?
A one-way mission.
Here
Yamato
it's
will
8
receive only
p.m.
enough fuel to reach
Here
Okinawa,
Philippines time,
not
8
to
p.m.
return. The officers around the table understand immediately what this means. They're being asked to order the deliberate destruction.
Hello to Bikawin.
And the certain death of nearly 3,000 men in
Bikawin.
an operation that has virtually no chance of success.
Either channel Bikawin. Thank you so much for coming to my live, Bikawin.
Aircraft will swarm them long before they reach Okinawa.
From what country you're from, Bikawin?
Survives to reach herself. American
Where time? What country you're from?
will pound her into scrap with it.
I did not check your channel yet. We need to playing
His voice carries
video.
the weight of someone who has done the calculations and found them wanting. This is not a naval operation. This is a suicide mission disguised as strategy. Others nod. The objections pile up. Yamato represents one of the last major naval assets Japan possesses. To throw her away on a symbolic gesture.
Please connect to Lisongson, guys. Lisongson. Sa nakapin natin ngayon si Lisongson. Ayan. Please, visit na lang yung channel ni
Represents a
Lisongson.
staggering expenditure. That fuel could keep aircraft flying for weeks. Could power smaller vessels for months. And for what? So that Yamato can die spectacularly instead of surviving to defend the home islands. But Kusaka, speaking for Toyota, presents the counter-argument. The army is dying on Okinawa. Tens of thousands of soldiers fighting and bleeding while the Navy sits in port.
Thank you so much for the likes. Ayan, thank you so much, guys.
The accusation hangs unspoken in the air. The Navy is hiding while the army sacrifices everything.
Sarap ng gulay, tapos may
The
sili.
Navy's honor, its
Wow.
very reason for existence,
Anghang talaga, guys.
dies with those soldiers. The debate stretches into the evening. Some officers
Visit
argue
natin
for
si
preserving Yamato from the inevitable invasion of Japan itself.
Si Gabi.
Others point out that by the time that invasion comes, American air power will make it impossible for any large warship to operate anyway. Some suggest sending Yamato with a full fuel load and a genuine combat mission. But there is no genuine combat mission that makes sense. The age of the battleship ended years ago. Yamato has become a symbol searching desperately for a purpose, crumbled over 4 years of war. He remembers when the combined
It's
fleet was the most
5:35
powerful
in
naval
the
force
evening.
in the Pacific. Now it consists
Really?
of a handful of ships, most damaged, all starved for fuel. and
5.
ammunition.
So,
The
we
decision
are
before them is not
advanced
really about
3,
military effectiveness.
almost
It is
2,
about meaning.
more than 2
About whether
hours.
the Navy will
Yes.
end its existence with a gesture of defiance or the
Still
will of
early
America.
there.
Finally, he speaks. The operation will proceed. Prepare the orders.
Hello to Taipo, Fade Mo. Thank you so much. Morgan.
Toyota's eyes are hard.
What
They will
I want
die
to show.
demonstrating that the combined fleet still fights. And it's not nothing.
No need to show
But
more.
even as he gives the order, Toyota
Taifu, fade mo, you have your channel.
to die because not sending her seems worse.
Wait,
Because the
I'll check
alternative is
it.
to do nothing while Japan burns. It is a choice between a meaningful death and a meaningless survival, and he has chosen death. He will spend the rest of his life wondering if he chose correctly. The next day, April 5th, the orders reach Vice Admiral Seiji Ito, then anger. He summons his staff and reads portions aloud, his voice
I don't type
This is
type
not
of
an
page.
operation. This is a
We don't
death
have your
sentence written in
videos.
naval terminology. Ito's chief of staff,
How about Jimmy
Rear
Butts?
Admiral Noe Morishita,
Go
has
to
already read the
channel.
orders.
No, also.
His face is gray. They are asking
Okay.
us to beat Yamato.
Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Thank you
They
so
are asking the
much.
Navy to become the army.
Ayan, I will not give jacket to
The
those who are
room
not,
fills with bitter laughter.
who don't have a
Rivalry
channel.
between Japan's
Okay?
army and Navy
But
has
still, you can,
defined military politics
you are
for
welcome here
decades.
to my live
Now, at
always.
the end, the Navy is being ordered to sacrifice
Sid
itself
is
in the Army's battle,
flying
using
kiss
the Army's
back.
tactics. The irony is almost too bitter to bear. He took
But I will be
points out the near certainty of destruction before reaching Okinawa. He notes that Yamato's loss will leave the combined fleet with no
what I see in Saturn games.
He
Saturn?
does everything but directly refuse the order. The reply
Saturn.
comes within hours. Admiral Toyoda himself has drafted it. Operation will proceed as ordered. The combined fleet must demonstrate its fighting spirit.
So shiny.
The sacrifice is necessary. Ito reads this response in his cabin aboard Yamato. For a long moment, he sits motionless. Then he stands, straightens his uniform, and walks to the bridge. He finds Captain Kosaku Ariga, Yamato's commanding officer, staring out at the harbor. Ariga is 51, has commanded
Please connect each other, guys.
and
Thank you
now
so
will
much.
die with her. We have our orders, Ito says quietly. We sort you tomorrow. Ariga turns. His eyes are red-rimmed. I've already informed the crew. Many have written finals. That evening, Ito gathers his officers. What he says to them is not recorded in official documents, but survivors remember the essence. He tells them the mission is likely suicide. He tells them that
Done subscribing you at Colex.
purposes. He tells them that Combined Fleet Headquarters has decided their deaths will mean something, even if their military impact will be negligible. And then he tells them they will do their duty anyway, because they are naval officers, and Japan is dying, and someone must be willing to die with her. Several officers weep openly. Some sit in stunned silence. A few nod with grim acceptance. One young lieutenant, his hands clenched into fists, asks the question everyone is thinking. Sir, are we being murdered?
5 viewers, thank you so much, guys.
Ito's answer is careful. We are being asked to demonstrate that the Navy still fights. Whether that is worth 3,000 lives is not for us to decide. That decision has been made. The words satisfy no one, least of all Ito himself. But by morning, Yamato and her escorts are preparing to sortie. The crew moves through their tasks with mechanical precision. Many have left letters to be mailed after their
Please
deaths.
connect the Bungat
Some have
Vlogs.
sent locks of hair home to their families. A few have written bitter words about the mission, about being thrown away, about dying for nothing. These letters will be censored or destroyed. The official narrative cannot include the truth.
I will visit
At
your
Combined
video
Fleet
at Abhishek.
Headquarters, Toyota and his staff monitor the preparations. They know what they have done. They know they have ordered good men to die in a gesture that will change nothing. But they have also convinced themselves it must be done. The alternative, sitting idle while Japan is invaded, seems worse than any sacrifice. Kusaka, Toyota's chief of staff.
Welcome everyone. I'm here to your video
His words are measured
at
in
Abhishek.
We knew it was a
Okay,
suicide
playing your
mission.
video here.
We knew the chances of success
Yeah,
were
guys,
zero.
for those who want to
But we
visit
also knew
your
that
channel,
if they did nothing,
if you want to
our
visit your
existence
channel,
would be
just leave your
meaningless.
comment.
We chose meaning over survival. Whether that was wisdom or madness, I still cannot say. On
Okay.
April 6th at 3 in the afternoon, Yamato and her escorts depart Tokuyama. The weather is clear. The scene
Hello
is
to
calm. It is a
Lazy,
beautiful day
Lazy
to begin
May.
dying.
Thank you
Within
so much
hours,
for
American
coming.
submarines spot the force. The radio messages flash across the Pacific. Task Force 58, the massive American carrier force supporting the Okinawa invasion, begins
Lazy
preparing
May,
airstrikes.
you have
Admiral
170
Spruance,
subscribers.
commanding the Fifth Fleet, reads the intelligence
Okay.
reports with something close to pity. The Japanese are setting their last battleship on a suicide mission. He will oblige them. At Combined Fleet Headquarters,
Lazy May, you
Scott
can
tracks
connect to them
Yamato's
now.
progress through radio
Just go with them and connect.
They know American
Okay, thank you so
submarines are
much.
spotted. They know what comes next. The waiting begins. Toyota sits at his desk, working through routine paperwork as if this is an ordinary day.
Please connect to Bongot Vlogs. Yung nakapin natin ngayon. Ayan. And the rest others also.
Enters to find the Admiral with his head in his hands. Toyota straightens immediately.
Ayan.
His face resuming
Playing.
its mask of command. But for that moment, the weight of what he has ordered is visible. The night passes. Yamato sails south through the Bungo Strait and into the Philippine Sea. Aboard the battleship, the crew is quiet. Many cannot sleep. They know American submarines are shadowing them. They know tomorrow will bring aircraft. They know they are sailing toward their deaths. Vice Admiral Ito spends the night on the bridge. He writes a final letter to
Give
his
me
wife,
some.
though he knows she will
Give me
receive it
some.
only after his death. The letter is formal, restrained. Speaking of
Welcome guys. Welcome.
it does not mention
Just stay connected.
his waste. It does not mention his anger at being ordered to die for symbolism. It speaks only of serving the Emperor and protecting Japan. The lies we tell our loved ones to spare them. April 7th.
You're right,
is
you're
clear
Wait,
and bright. The sea is rough, whitecaps breaking across Yamato's massive bow. At Combined Fleet Headquarters, the morning briefing is subdued. Everyone knows today is the day. The staff moves through their routines, but the tension is palpable. Officers speak in hushed voices. The radio room is crowded with men waiting for news they dread. At 12:30 in the afternoon, the first aircraft appear. They are Hellcats and Avengers from Task Force 58, nearly 400 aircraft in total. They circle Yamato like sharks, waiting for the full strike force to assemble. Aboard the battleship, the crew watches them gather. Some men pray, some weep, some simply stare, faces blank with the knowledge of what comes next. The attack begins at 12:32. The first wave comes from the port side, torpedoes and bombs falling in a carefully coordinated assault. Yamato's anti-aircraft guns fill the sky with fire, but there are too many aircraft. The first torpedo strikes amidships, then another. Then a bomb penetrates the deck and explodes deep inside the ship. At Combined Fleet Headquarters, the radio messages begin arriving. Under heavy air attack. Then, minutes later, multiple torpedo hits. Then, heavy damage, listing to port. Toyota reads each message as it arrives. His face remains expressionless, but his hands grip the edge of his desk. Around him, staff officers stand frozen, listening to the death of their fleet's pride transmitted in terse radio bursts. The attack continues for nearly 2 hours. Wave after wave of aircraft. Torpedo after torpedo slammed, torn apart by aircraft she cannot effectively fight. At 1:40 in the afternoon, a message arrives from Yamato. Listing 14 degrees. Steering lost. Flooding cannot be controlled. Kusaka, reading over Toyota's shoulder, closes his eyes. She's dying. Toyota says nothing. He picks up a pen.
Thank you for the likes. 3 people, thank you so much for the support.
His handwriting is precise.
Just connect each other, guys.
Only the slight tremor in his fingers betrays his emotion. At 2:05, another message. Listing 20 degrees. Abandoning ship ordered for non-essential personnel. The radio room at Combined Fleet Headquarters is now packed with officers. No one speaks. They simply listen to aloud in a flat, emotionless voice. The death of Yamato narrated in real time. At 2:20, the final message begins transmitting. The radio operator at headquarters transcribes frantically. Listing 35 degrees. Cannot be controlled. Yamato will... The transmission cuts off. Static fills the radio room. The operator adjusts his equipment, trying to re-establish contact. Nothing. Just the hiss of empty frequencies. 3 minutes later, a message from the destroyer. Fuyusuki confirms what everyone already knows. Yamato has capsized to its south. Position 30 degrees 22 minutes north. 128 degrees 4 minutes east. Time 14:23. The radio operator's voice breaks as he reads the position. Someone in the back of the room makes a sound that might be wrong. Toyota sits motionless, staring at the message. 2,498 men have just died on his order. The largest battleship ever built has been destroyed after less than 2 years of active service. The combined fleet, for all practical purposes, no longer exists. For a long moment, no one moves. Then Toyota stands. His voice, when he speaks, is steady but hollow. Inform Imperial
Welcome
General
everyone. Welcome
Yamato
guys.
has been sunk. Vice Admiral Ito is presumed lost with his ship. He pauses, then adds, the crew of Yamato fought with distinction and honor. Their sacrifice will be remembered. The words sound empty even as he speaks them. What does fought with distinction mean when you ordered men into a battle they could not win? What does sacrifice will be remembered mean when the sacrifice achieved nothing? But these are the words command requires. These are the lies that make unbearable decisions bearable. Kusaka approaches Toyota after the room clears. The two men stand in silence for a moment. Then Kusaka speaks quietly. Was it worth it? Toyota's answer comes slowly. The army is dying on Okinawa. We had to show we were still fighting. We had to show we would sacrifice everything.
At Lazy, I'm here to review at Lazy.
3,000 men for symbolism.
Ayan.
We sacrificed 3,000 men so the Navy would not end its existence in disgrace. Kusaka looks at his commander. And did we succeed? Toyota has no answer. He turns away, staring out the window at the harbor where Yamato departed 3 days ago. I will spend the rest of my life wondering. The official report to Imperial General Headquarters is drafted that evening. It is a masterpiece of bureaucratic language, transforming a disaster into a heroic sacrifice. Yamato sortied to attack enemy forces at Okinawa. She was engaged by overwhelming enemy air power. She fought valiantly. Her crew demonstrated the highest traditions of the Imperial Japanese Navy. Vice Admiral Ito and Captain Ariga died as warriors.
Hello guys. Hello everyone.
Showed Japan's determination to fight to the end. The report does not mention that the mission was designed as a suicide operation from the start. It does not mention the objections raised before the sortie. It does not mention that Yamato was sent with insufficient fuel to return. It does not mention that nearly everyone...
Lazy, I already subscribed to Lazy.
These truths are not for official reports, but in private conversations, in letters written but never sent, in diaries that will be discovered decades later, the truth emerges. The officers at Combined Fleet Headquarters were devastated. Some wept openly when the news arrived. Others sat in stunned silence. A few became angry, questioning why the order was given, why good men were thrown away. Captain Kami, who had argued against the mission from the start, is found that evening sitting alone in a conference room, staring at a map of Okinawa. When a colleague asks if he's all right, Kami responds with bitter precision. We murdered them. We ordered them to die for nothing, and we called it strategy. His colleague, uncomfortable with such naked honesty, tries to defend the decision. It was necessary. The Navy had to act. Kami's laugh is harsh. Necessary for what? Yamato is gone. Ito is dead. 3,000 men are at the bottom of the ocean, and and Okinawa will still fall. What did we accomplish except the destruction of our own fleet? The colleague has no answer. He leaves Kami alone with his grief and guilt. In the weeks that followed, the impact of Yamato's loss reverberates through Japanese command. The combined fleet, already reduced to a shadow of its former power, is now essentially finished as a fighting force. The few remaining major warships are trapped in port by lack of fuel and the overwhelming American air superiority. The Navy, which began the war with dreams of Pacific domination, ends it unable to defend even Japan's home waters. Admiral Toyota continues his duties, but those who work with him notice the change. He speaks less. He sits for long periods staring at nothing. When asked about Yamato, he gives the official
Please leave your comment, guys. Ayan. Sino yung mga nandyan natin ngayon?
Unguarded moments.
Nag-iwan ka ng mga comment yan.
Once, when a staff officer mentions the battleship in passing, Toyota's hand trembles so badly he has to set down his teacup. Kusaka, his chief of staff, will later write extensively about this period. His memoirs are careful, measured, but the guilt seeps through every page. We convinced ourselves that Yamato's sacrifice was necessary. We told ourselves that the Navy's honor required action, even suicidal action. We believed that dying spectacularly was better than surviving in irrelevance. Whether we were right or simply desperate men making desperate choices, I cannot say. But I know that Admiral Toyota never forgave himself.
Mga vlogs, I already play your short videos.
Notifications, heroic death in battle, service to the Emperor, honor to the family. The letters are identical, impersonal, offering no real comfort. Many families later learn the truth, that their sons and husbands were sent on a suicide mission.
Loto remark Asense.
Accomplished
Oh, I
nothing.
love you.
Some accept this
Why is he
stoic
that?
resignation. Others become bitter, questioning why their loved ones had to die. One mother, whose only son died aboard Yamato, writes a letter
Remark,
to
do you have a channel or no?
It is angry, raw, demanding to know why her son was sent to die. The letter is intercepted, never reaches Toyota, is filed away and forgotten. But decades later, when the archives are opened, it is discovered. Her words cut through the official narrative like a knife. You murdered my son. You called it honor and duty, but you murdered him. And for what? Tell me for what?
Where time sleeps, I will play your video.
In the immediate aftermath, Japanese propaganda
Where time
tries to spin
sleeps.
Yamato's loss as a heroic last stand. Radio broadcasts speak of the battleship's valiant fight against overwhelming odds. Newspapers print stories
playing
of the
now.
crew's bravery.
Where time
Narrative is clear.
sleeps.
Yamato died as a warrior should, fighting to the end. But the Japanese public is not fooled. By April 1945, most civilians understand the war is lost. The destruction of Yamato is seen not as heroic sacrifice, but as confirmation of Japan's desperation. When the news spreads through Tokyo, the reaction is not pride, but despair. The greatest battleship ever built, destroyed in a single afternoon. If Yamato could not survive, what hope does Japan have?
85 years old man
At
lives
combined
alone in
fleet
Siberia.
headquarters, the staff begins planning for the
It's so sad that you are living
With no
alone
fleet to
in your
command,
life.
their role becomes increasingly administrative. They coordinate
Said
the few
he is
remaining
living
naval
alone
assets, mostly submarines
in
and small craft.
Siberia.
They prepare for the defense of the home islands. Though everyone knows such defense is futile, they wait for the end. Toyota, in his private moments, returns again and again to the decision to send Yamato. He reviews the arguments made for and against. He examines his reasoning. He tries to determine if there was an alternative he missed, but always he comes back to the same conclusion. There were no good choices, only degrees of bad. He chose the bad choice that seemed to offer meaning, whether that was leadership or failure. Good morning, madam. Can I help you? Are you the manager? I am the owner, madam. What? I am the owner. I want to speak to the manager. I am the manager too. Huh? I am the manager as well. You're what? I'm the manager. What? I'm the manager. Yes, I know. You just told me. What's the matter with you? Now listen to me. I booked a room with a bath. When I book a...
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what's the juiciest apple of them all?
You've got your apple, the delicious mix of yogurt, milk, and real fruit juices down for a steaming apple goodness. You've got your apple.
Yogurt, nobody will get the apple juice.
Enter. Enter.
I expect to get a bath. You've got a bath. I have not paid £7.20 per night plus VAT for a room without a bath. Where is your bath? You won't have a bath. It's not big enough to drown the house.
From Thailand. Hello, thank you so much from Thailand. Do you have your channel?
I asked for a room with a view. And right. This is the view as far as
Remark
I remember, madam.
your channel, Remark.
Yes. When I pay for a
From
view, I
Thailand.
expect something more interesting than that. But that is
I don't
talking,
have
madam.
an also.
That's not good enough.
Thank you so much guys for your support here guys. Hello to Jiri Magana. Thank you so much Jiri for your present. Thank you so much.
Well, may I suggest that you consider moving to a hotel closer to the sea?
My hands very
Preferably
tired.
in it.
Just connect each other.
The bath is too small. The view is invisible, and the radio doesn't work. No, the radio works. You don't. But fix it.
Right now, thank you so much guys. Ayan.
I'll get you some.
Just
Do
leave
you
your
want
comment
plain ones
only.
or ones with our address on? Dress on it?
How many sheets? Well, how many are you going to use?
Manager!
Well, just enough for one person.
Manager! Yes. Yes, Daddy, I've never met such insolence in my life. I come down here to get some lavatory paper, and she starts asking me the most insulting, personal things I've ever heard in my life. I thought you were writing me. I'm talking to you, what? Are you deaf? I said I'm talking to you. I've never met such insolence in my life. She said people use it in the lies. Yes, she thought after no, please, please. I can explain. I know you see. She thought you wanted to write.
Jerry TV and it up my channel na Jerry TV.
Wanted to write on the paper. That's what I want to write on it.
Wala.
I'll have some sent up to your room immediately. Manuel?
Not
That doesn't
reply.
work right. What do you say? Turn it on.
Pick up ng chicken layer pages.
Turn it on. I can't read that. I need my glasses. Mrs. Richards, your glasses are there. There? Look at there. No, on your head.
Ayan, share rin isa ako sa video. Nag-alta kami ng layers.
The money. In the office. You were counting it, weren't you? Did someone hand it in? Oh, no. No, it's not. Yours. I want it. You want it? On the horse Mr. Fulton got a tip on. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
I didn't know you bet on the horses, Bobby. Oh, I don't. Only I was in the town when I passed the betting shop and I thought, well, why not?
Well, why not indeed, eh? It's like a investigator. You can let me put something on it. You realize how much we would have won? £75 for a £5 stake still? You know that.
Thank you so much for coming back again.
What was the name of the horse?
Ayan.
The name? Oh. I've gone blank. This wife. What? You're like a small
your liking. You are the English Riviera down there behind the trees. This is your bathroom. Well, oh, it's not working. Got to fix it. Have you had a tiring journey?
There's 7 hours in the coach. Is the dining room still open?
Well, the chef is a night, I'm afraid. You can always do your sandwiches.
Oh, I'd like a hot meal, really. Is there a restaurant near here?
Well, there's an awfully good little Welsh place.
Thank you so much, Abhishek Kapoor. Let's connect to Jerry Maglandre.
The lights went by the other, right? Okay, so I went in, checked the fitting, which was loose.
I would have about it. The male menopause, it's called. Oh, one word of advice. If you're going to grow the girl, have the gallantry to stay in the room with her while you're in. I hope your wife didn't.
Oh, no, my wife, she's been all about that.
Where was that restaurant again?
Out of the gate, turn left, 5 minutes on your way to the house.
Thank you.
Pretentious. What? Yes, can I help you? I was just wondering if I could get a drink now. A drink. Well, a bottle of champagne. Champagne. Yes. I see. You are aware of our rule about visitors, are you? No visitors in guest rooms after 2 o'clock. Oh, I'll be on. Thanks. No. But I am now. So.
Coffee.
Sure, but not just any coffee. Dapat yung sobrang sarap.
Relationships, particularly with his Rat Pack colleague and friend, Frank Sinatra. While fans always imagined Martin and Sinatra as inseparable, the reality of their friendship was far more complicated. Before his death in 1995, Dean Martin candidly revealed the reasons he had distanced himself from Sinatra, shedding light on the human complexities behind two of Hollywood's most iconic figures. Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra first met in the 1940s, both striving to carve a niche in the competitive world of entertainment. Their friendship blossomed alongside their careers, culminating in the formation of the Rat Pack in the 1960s, which included Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. To the public, the Rat Pack exuded camaraderie, sophistication, and effortless charm, but behind the curtain, tension simmered. While Martin appreciated Sinatra's talent and charisma, he often found himself overshadowed in personal and professional spheres, an experience that gradually eroded the bond they once shared. One of the primary reasons Martin began to distance himself from Sinatra, as he later confessed, was Sinatra's controlling nature and propensity for jealousy. Sinatra, known for his exacting standards and meticulous planning, often dictated the dynamics of Rat Pack projects, including performances and movie contracts. Martin, who valued his independence and relaxed approach to life, found this increasingly suffocating. The tension reached a breaking point when Sinatra would make unilateral decisions regarding engagements, leaving Martin feeling both undervalued and manipulated. This imbalance planted seeds of resentment, a feeling Martin quietly carried for years. Financial disputes also played a role in the rift. Both men were successful, but Sinatra's ambitious negotiations and business maneuvers sometimes clashed with Martin's desire for simplicity. While Sinatra chased aggressive deals and high-stakes ventures, Martin preferred a steady, more measured approach. There were instances in their shared film and music projects where Martin felt shortchanged or excluded from important financial discussions. Over time, These perceived slights compounded, transforming admiration into frustration. Martin later admitted that, as much as
Rigor,
he respected
Maranga,
Sinatra's
hello, good
genius,
evening sa'yo,
he could not ignore
Rigor.
the repeated instances where he felt exploited or undervalued. Moreover, the pressures of fame strained their friendship. The public often conflated their professional partnership
pa lang,
with personal
Rigor.
loyalty, assuming Martin and
Kasi
Sinatra
10
were
pa lang
immune to
naman yung
conflict.
subscribers mo.
However, Martin's personal life was complicated. He faced challenges in his marriages.
Ayan, Rigor, makakonect ka na sa kanila. Just connect mo lang. Ayan. Meron ka ng jacket. Connect to Jerry Maghanay. Visit kita.
In 2026, 2027, 2028. These 3 years won't just change the job market, they'll completely rewrite the rules of who works and who doesn't. Microsoft has released the most comprehensive research we've ever seen on AI's impact on jobs. Not predictions, not speculation, actual data from 200,000 real conversations between workers and AI throughout 2024. What they
Hello to Carter 3i. May channel cut, Carter. Visit kita mamaya. Playing ako sa video mo at Rigor. Ayan, Rigor. Dito ako sa video mo na to. Thank you so much, Carter, ha, sa pagpasok ko sa aking live. At salamat sa suporta. Mga nanonood dyan, salamat sa inyong support, guys. Thank you so much sa mga nandyan. Ayan, salamat sa inyong pag-standby. Thank you. Parang nawawala yung signal ko. Kaya nawawala. Okay na siya. Mag-repair me sa price cast mga idol. At Rigor, parang ano lang yung ano mo. Yung video mo yan. Parang magulo lang ka. Huwag mo siya bilisan para hindi magulo yung video. Ate Gorma nga. Andito ako sa pikin. Yan.
How are you? Don't you remember me?
I'm sorry, I can't say that I do.
We were at the last picture I did in Colombia.
Well, I make it a point never to see pictures, all right? You, stop bothering my wife. Oh, you shouldn't have done it, honey. But how much money that thing's got? You pulled the curtain. What's wrong with right here? Evening, Mr. Steele. All right, Ed, you got it? Yeah, I'll put her right in front. Okay.
I'm not enough pictures.
What am I?
I don't know. Nobody. It's nobody.
She's right. Fish, we about giving you up. Oh, all right, well, what's your band? Come on, buy us a drink. Be somebody. Buy Barnes, big director. Made all his money before the income tax. So we've been calling you for the last 3 days. You know me, if I don't answer the phone ring, I'm not home. Well, Dix, hi, Max. Honey, let me have that book I left here for Mr. Steele to pick up this.
We're almost finished with it.
All you've got to say is, I like it. You go on salad tomorrow. I like it.
Oh, I think it was like a dream picture, Mr. Steele. But I call an epic.
What do you call that?
You know, a picture that's real long and there's lots of things going on. Could we have some matches for souvenirs? Mr. Steele, could I keep the book until you come around? I only have a few pages to go. I know the end. I always read that first.
Sure, take your time. Remember, she's your audience.
So again guys, thank you so much everyone for coming to my live tonight. Ayan, see you again tomorrow guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye guys, see you tomorrow again.
Yes, yeah, Johnny.